Ciao.
Gives a hard shell finish. Turtle wax.
Would have come up with "Get It." That would be his thing for,
Get it.
Get it. Yeah. I liked Get Her Done, but, Get It was the one that actually seemed to stick. Hey, Peter Cohen is here with us, everybody. Peter Cohen, peter-cohen.com if you want to see what he is doing online, or if you want to follow him on the Twitter. It is Flarg, Flargh, Flargh. Man, lots has happened since the last time you were here. First of all, I'm going to say I messed up our timing this week because you, right now, are recording, are you ready for it? Episode 199.
Wow.
I know, I'm messing it up because you should have been here for episode 200, so I'm going to honorarily call this episode 200. Doesn't matter because I'm the only one who keeps up with the number anyway.
Episode 200 asterisk.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, because he was corking his bat, it turns out. Who knew? Right. So a number of things have happened. A number of things have changed. There was a whole 5 or 6 weeks where I was doing this as a video show, which you missed because, boy, oh boy, did I hate editing that. And it sort of lost a lot of the fun, a lot of the feel. Last time you were here, we were actually doing album sides, but then I came back around to somebody who'd already done an album side. And I thought, well, gee whiz, I got to come up with something else. And so what I did was I went on the App Store and I found a decision maker app called Daily Decision Wheel. And I only talk about it by name. I think it's like $1.99. I only talk about it by name because I've been really impressed with, this honestly is, I don't want to insult them, but I would have figured this was about like a fart app, honestly, where you just put it out there, you hope to make some money, and then you move on to whatever your next thing is. There's not really a lot of updating that I would have expected from Daily Decision Wheel. They continue to update this app, which is kind of crazy to me. So Daily Decision Wheel is what it's called if you want to play the at-home version.
This is for ambivalent folks?
I guess so, or people who can't. Well, no, here's the thing. So what I've done is actually I put a whole bunch of different topics on here and I spin it. I spin what I call the wheel of stuff. The topic, it lands on a topic and then I throw it to you and then we learn more about Peter Cohen. There are other people who use it for like as a raffle thing or something like that. This, what I don't understand is this wheel will actually support up to 200 different decisions. Now I'm thinking you're incredibly indecisive at that point. Yeah, right. Although, you know what you could use it for? Writing prompts or drawing prompts or things like that. I mean, I can see all the different reasons you might do it. This could be your D20, Peter. I mean, this could actually be, and you can set up a bunch of different ones. So you could actually have all of your D&D dice right there. Take about an hour and a half to make one dex roll. But still. Anyway, now that I've sort of laid out what the game is for you, Peter Cohen, are you ready to play Wheel of Stuff?
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it's got sound effects. When I say effects, it's got the one. Haha, I'm dying to know about this one. Tell me about your first car.
79 Ford Mustang.
Oh my
first
God,
year of,
Ed at the deep end. What? Your first car was a Mustang?
Yeah, I saw it on the lot at the local Ford dealer, and I fell in love with it right away. I was a child of the 80s, so it was very well used to me by the time it came into my possession.
Yeah.
But it was the first year of the four-eyed fox Mustang, so sort of undoing the blight of the Mustang II into a more lightweight chassis. God, mine had a leaky sunroof and a horrible stereo that my friend and I ripped out one afternoon and replaced with parts that we lifted from a local Radio Shack. And just, it was a horrible first car that I made lots of mistakes on. And it was unreliable, but I was also, immediately cool with some of the kids in school who ignored me because all of a sudden I was driving to school in a Mustang every day. Yeah. So that was fun.
One thing really quickly, what color?
Black.
Nice. Oh, wow. See, so my first car was actually my grandfather's El Camino. My first real car, though, the one that was actually my first car, was a 1980 Pontiac Sunbird that I got in 1988, I guess, or 89. I can't remember which.
Yeah, that's about when I got my Mustang.
Or maybe 87. Yeah. And it was just a cute little, two-seater. Well, no, not two-seater. I had a back seat, but I didn't ever take anybody in it. Bucket seats and all four. And standard sunroof that I nearly broke my fingers on opening when I was going down a hill one time. And I miss that car. I was thinking about it the other day. I really miss that car. Nowhere near as cool as your car, though.
But I remember the Sunbird. The Sunbird was that generation. That was like a Chevy Monza that was like rebadged, right? It was like a.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no.
It was basically the money that I got from my grandfather's El Camino was enough to cover half the cost of the Sunbird. Was basically what it came down to, because I needed something. Well, I needed something that took less gas and also that was cooler than my grandfather's El Camino. Spinning the wheel again. I hope you're okay. Because I feel like you and I could talk about any one of these questions for the whole show, but we got other stuff to do.
Of course.
Like talk about your hero from fiction. Now, this shows up 2 times on the wheel. If it comes up again, we'll go ahead and blow through it. But I've got my hero on here twice. A real life hero has actually come up twice in the past 2 weeks. And then this is a hero from fiction. So movies, TV, comic books, you name it. Who's your hero?
Well, one of my favorite fictional characters has got to be Miles Vorkosigan.
Who's that?
He is a roguish character created by Lois McMaster Bujold for the series of sort of space opera novels. Very funny, very smart character, suffers horrible physical ailments. But doesn't let that overcome his will to persevere and succeed. And it's just a grand, sprawling space opera. Bujold writes terrifically funny, really witty dialogue, and really well-developed characters that are just a joy to read. And matter of fact, if you haven't read Bujold and you just pick up anything, read The Leaf and it looks interesting to you, get it. I guarantee you're going to like it. She's just a brilliant writer.
Very cool. That is not, well, I don't know that fiction has actually come up. I don't think fictional hero, even though it's been here, I think the whole time, this is the first time it's come up. So very cool. Spinning the wheel one last time. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, give it a good spin that time. Well, I say it's a good spin. I don't know, because, it's going to land where it lands. Oh, okay. I'm not overly happy, but it's fine. I wish we had ended on the last one this time. Tell me about your worst job. Not your first job, although it would not surprise me if your first job was your worst job, but tell me about your worst job.
Oh, I worked for a sociopath once. No. Early in my tech career. I mean, well, the first of many, right?
Is that what the ad said?
The first one I really recognized as a sociopath was, I worked, because I've been in tech almost my entire life, right? I did some office work when I was a teenager and stuff like that. But basically since, I was 20, I've been in tech. And the part of the problem is that a lot of people, for whatever reason, who run companies seem to be a little bit crazy. But yeah, I know I worked for a complete sociopath once. He was so intimidating to his employees that my counterpart, I was in tech support, my counterpart on the sales floor went blind in one eye from the stress of working for this guy. Yeah. It made me hypersensitive to people who kind of operate on that fringe of sociopathy, or, people who are just sort of really toxic. As far as that's concerned. And that's good, I guess, because allergy is a disease of exposure. So, if you develop an instant allergic reaction to somebody, I tend to trust my gut, and sort of shy away from those people. But yeah, that's the kind of energy that, leaves a mark, and how you deal with that is sort of up to you. But I don't know why those people seem to come out in tech, but they do. They do. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of those predatory people in Silicon Valley and elsewhere. I think anywhere there's a lot of money and a lot of, sort of concentrated influence and power, you're going to find apex predators, people who are apex predators. And you just got to stay on top of your game and know when you see them and figure out fight, flight, or freeze, because that's what you do when you're faced with a predator.
There was so mine was not nearly as bad, but I worked at a magazine for about a month. And it turns out the reason I worked there for about a month, there were two. One was because I was actually waiting for another job, although I didn't know that job was ever going to happen. It just happened to open up about a month after I started the magazine. But the other thing was at the magazine, so I went and, everybody showed me the ropes and it's great, whatever. Person I was supposed to work with actually quit that week. So that was kind of bad because my job was contingent on her doing her job and she was out the door. But everybody else just stayed and kept doing what they were doing, right? And then the owner of the company came to town. He only came to town like 1 week a month or something like that. But when he came to town, the whole office changed entirely. The whole thing just shut down not shut down like quit, but like nobody talked, nobody had fun, whatever. And so the first day he was in town, I got up for lunch at lunchtime and started to leave. And somebody's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going to lunch." And they're like, "Oh, but so-and-so's here." I was like, "Are we waiting for him for lunch?" they said, "No, we don't go to lunch when he's here." And I'm like, "Oh, I'll see you in an hour." And oddly enough, I wasn't there for that much longer, but I left on my own terms. Nothing like that, though. Nothing like I didn't go blind in one eye, although I did go hungry a couple of days, Peter.
Oh. We all do. We all do, Ken.
Well, it's fantastic to have you on the game. I want to say Celebrity Edition. I want to say Celebratory Edition because, you just happen to be here on Astros, the 200th episode, which is fantastic. We got a half-used jar of turtle wax that I think I can give you as a parting gift. Peter Cohen, thank you very much for spinning the wheel of stuff.
This is excellent. I can use it on my head.